Hi, good evening. This is Bob Yang with EduBridge. I'm a consultant here and graduated from MIT in 1998 with both my bachelor's and master's. I've since, over the past 20 years, been an interviewer with MIT, interviewing high school students who wish to apply to MIT. And over the course of my time doing this role, I've interviewed hundreds of students. And so in this series of talks, I'd like to share with you my experiences and learnings to help with your family in applying to the top universities and making your application as strong as possible. Today, our topic will be around course selection, as well as performance within the courses. We'll cover questions such as which courses to select in high school. What happens if you score high GPAs in science and engineering, but lower in English? What is the ideal report card for the best application? Overall, it should come as no surprise that the more difficult the courses you select, the stronger your college application will be, assuming that you still get top marks in these advanced courses. As I've mentioned in previous talks, asking about getting a B in an AP class compared to getting an A in a regular class is not really an important question when you're applying to the very top universities. If you want to get into the Ivy League schools, then you should aspire to get an A in the AP class. All of the top students that I have interviewed are able to get the best marks in the most advanced classes. However, if you are not confident, then the answer needs to become case by case because it depends on the strength of the rest of your application and which AP versus regular course you are comparing. For example, if you're going to be a math major, you definitely want to take AP Calculus, BC, and get an A. On the other hand, if you're a math major, AP French might not matter. What schools usually want to see is that you're challenging yourself in the courses that you select. They want to see that you're taking the most advanced courses that are available to you. Usually, the schools will get to know a lot of the more famous high schools or the high schools where lots of students apply to a particular school, and so they will know what types of APs and what level the top students are in that school. If your school doesn't have a lot of APs, then don't worry. That's okay too. In fact, it might even be to your advantage because if you can show that you're still willing to chase after advanced learning, to take the AP classes outside of school, then that demonstrates initiative and passion for the subjects that you're interested in. Now, as I said before, related to your intended area of major, you should definitely take the AP level courses. If your school doesn't offer them, then you should find outside vendors or local community college to take AP courses, or even post-AP courses, meaning courses that are more advanced than the AP. As an example, beyond Calculus BC, there's multivariable calculus and linear algebra. Beyond AP chemistry, there's organic chemistry. Some of the top students that I have seen did not limit themselves to just APs, but also classes beyond those APs that I just mentioned. And a lot of them went outside of their high school to learn and take these courses. Now, if you want to show that you're well-rounded and that you have interests outside of sciences and math, which I would encourage you to do, then things like AP Government, AP European History, or Economics are all good courses to take. In general, it'll never be a bad thing to take an AP class, as long as you're reasonably confident you can do well. So, what is an ideal report card? Well, theoretically, it would be 15 or 20 APs, all straight A's with a 4.4 GPA. But I've never seen one of those before in my entire history as an interviewer. AP courses within a school, however, does offer the advantage of increasing your GPA. So, for example, if an A is a 4.0 on your GPA, an AP with an A adds an additional 0.5, so it becomes 4.5. That's why I typically recommend that students take the AP within the school if the school offers it, because it gives a GPA advantage on the transcript. But I am not telling you to get into Harvard, you have to take 20 APs and get A's in all of them, because that's not true. You want to take as many APs as you can, but that has to be balanced with the rest of your application. The APs you take ideally should be part of telling the complete story about you. If you take AP Government, for example, or AP European History, and participate in Model UN, then you're linking together an activity and an interest with your course selection that happens to be an AP. And that's the best way to have the highest impact with your APs, to have a relationship between the course, your activities, and your interest. So I know a lot of parents and students get concerned about grades and APs. And, if it's not 20 APs, what is the right number? Well, it depends, and there is no right number, but I can tell you a few different examples. The first is my personal example. So to share with you, when I graduated from high school, I had 12 APs, or post-AP classes, on my transcript. And I actually had 2 Bs. Both Bs happened to be in French, and I was terrible at French. So, not having straight A's is not the end of the world. Not having straight A's does not mean that you have no chance at getting to the top schools. It all depends on the rest of the course selection and the rest of the activities, interests, and accomplishments. A different example to show the point is a student that had 15 APs. And he got A's and 5s in all of them. But he didn't get into MIT. And that was because the rest of the application wasn't strong enough. There is no formula that says if you have this many APs or choose this type of class, you'll be guaranteed to get in. Because all the other parts of the application matter. This student happened to have no extracurricular activities, no volunteering, and no leadership. He spent all of his time studying for the APs. And so that is an example and a lesson that you should spread your interest across multiple things and don't just focus on one thing. I've also worked with students who just focused on the SAT, And so they spend 2 summers just taking the SAT over and over and over again in practice exams so that they can go from 1550 to 1600. Their time would have been much better off doing volunteer work or other activities. So around course selection and AP exams, in summary, you should take the hardest courses that are available to you to show the school that you're willing to challenge yourself and that you can do very well in a challenging academic environment. If your school doesn't have APs or offers APs too late, for example, only to 12th grade, then I recommend that you pursue the APs outside of school. And that has the advantage of showing initiative. Finally, if you truly love a subject and an area of your major, you want to think about classes that are even beyond the AP, such as organic chemistry or multivariable calculus. So I hope that provides an overall direction and strategy for choosing your courses. I'll open the forum now. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer them. This is the end of our discussion tonight. I hope you enjoyed it and got value out of hearing about course selection in APs. Tomorrow, my colleague Emily will be sharing her story about how she chose her courses, how she approached applying to MIT while she was in high school, and how she got interested in the science and engineering. A lot of people ask questions about her from her previous talk, and so she will tell her story at our discussion tomorrow.